I am your host for the evening, for the night, Tobiloba Adeni Roland, and I am here with the beautiful and intelligent and fierce Miss Ronke Ojekere. How are you feeling today?
Very well, thank you. Good evening, Tobiloba.
That's
thank
good.
you for agreeing to do this.
Of course.
Sothawaca, the acronym for Society to Heighten Awareness of Women and Children Abuse.
Okay.
It's a non-governmental organization that focuses on the rights, welfare, and general well-being of our targeted groups, which are the vulnerable people.
Okay.
Our mission is to raise awareness about what we do, and we started the group in 1999 in October, but we're duly registered in May 2013. We focus on promoting reproductive health and rights, and looking at GBV, gender-based violence, reintegration of women and children, trafficking, and the works. The name was chosen because we're committed to breaking the cycle of abuse and neglect, and to advocate for the rights and well-being of our group. Our mission is dedicated to breaking, like I said earlier on, to breaking the cycle of abuse, neglect, and we are committed to families and the community at large. We endeavor to extend compassionate support to the less privileged by creating an inclusive environment characterized by equality, justice, and peace for all. Our vision in Sothawaca is to look at the society where every individual is entitled to the full spectrum of human rights, and we aspire towards a future where the rights are upheld and respected, fostering a society where every member can thrive and contribute to a collective well-being. Our impact and our programs in society, Sothawaca, because we're a non-governmental organization that is duly recognized by the United Nations, as we have the United Nations ECOSOC Special Consultative Status, which we got in 2016.
That's nice.
We're dedicated to promoting everything that has to do with our targeted beneficiaries. What are our key programs, you would want to ask me, and what are the initiatives that we have put in place since we came into
have been founded?
Yes. We do a lot of advocacy, where Sothawaca actively raises awareness and advocates for policy changes to combat violence against women and children.
So gender-based violence, what exactly would that look like?
That's what I was just going to go into. Because now we know that violence does not just happen to women and children. We have come to see that violence is also applicable to the men and the boy child. And we all know that gender does not mean female, as it is erroneously looked at. Now we're looking at gender as even the men. The men do not come out to speak out. But right now we're beginning to see men who are beginning to have a voice. So we're now advocating for policies that would change gender-based violence. We in Sothawaca, we have counseling services.
That's nice.
Right now, Sothawaca is working out of the Edo State Gender-Based Violence Center, otherwise known as the Vivian Center. And the Vivian Center is like a one-stop shop where you have the medical doctor who is the coordinator of the center. Then we have the different counselors.
Okay.
And then we have the NGOs where we fall into.
Right.
And then we have the police unit.
Okay.
And we have a police stand. We also work directly with the state CID. So we provide dedicated services in counseling to our vulnerable individuals.
Okay.
Because we want to ensure that we break the cycle of abuse and neglect in our society.
For sure. So is this just like maybe abuse in the household, work related?
We have all sorts of abuses.
Right.
We have the sexual abuse of children, rape, incest. We have physical abuse. We have domestic violence.
Right.
We have financial abuse.
Right.
We have custody battles and all of that. We have neglect. So those are the kind of abuses that we look at, because every human being is entitled to their own fundamental human rights.
For sure.
And when you deny individuals of their fundamental human rights, that in itself is another form of abuse.
Yes.
So we look at all of them. Then we have an initiative which we call the Hope of Healing Initiative.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
It's a comprehensive program offering psychosocial counseling, legal aid, and skill training that also looks at safe spaces for survivors of gender-based violence.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And,
but this is not, so is the safe spaces at the Vivian Center, or is those two different? Okay.
Yes. We have safe spaces in the Vivian Center.
Okay.
Yeah. We have the anti-trafficking efforts.
Nice.
Yeah, we work directly with the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons.
Wow.
We work with them. We partner with them.
Yeah.
We also partner with the Edo State Migration Agency.
Okay.
Yes, the Edo State Migration Agency is also within the premises of the Vivian Center. It's a big premises. So we work hand in hand with them. If we have cases of human trafficking or cases whereby people have come to us seeking assistance and all of that, we refer to them. We work with IOM, we work with ROLAC. And
what is IOM and ROLAC for people who don't?
Okay, for people who do not know, IOM is the International Organization of Migration.
Okay.
And ROLAC is the rule of law against corruption.
Okay.
Yeah. So we work with them.
That's beautiful.
For the anti-trafficking efforts that we do, we work to combat human trafficking, particularly focusing on exploitation of young children.
Right.
Yeah, because we have found out that these traffickers go into the rural community to go and more like fish out young girls.
Yes.
Under the pretense that they are taking them overseas to go and further their education.
Right.
And then you lure such children out of the comfort of their homes and you take them, no matter how bad a home is, a home is a home.
Yeah.
You lure a child out of that kind of environment and you take the child into an unknown destination.
Right, under false pretense.
And then, under false pretense.
Yeah.
And you turn a young child, I'm talking of 13, 14 years olds, into prostitutes. So we work towards combating all of that. Then we work directly. We also, because we are an organization that is in in communities, we work with community heads, and our work solely is on education, healthcare, and skills development,
right,
where we empower women and young girls with skills,
Mm-hmm.
women for leadership roles,
Mm-hmm.
and then we also challenge the patriarchal norms of our society.
Right.
Yeah, because that we have found to be a major bottleneck,
Mm-hmm.
because patriarchy
Yeah.
is the order of the day in most rural communities.
For sure.
Yes. And then Sothawaca's holistic approach to address our immediate needs and systemic issues
Yes.
that fosters resilience
Okay.
and promoting equality with the Nigerian woman in the rural community.
Right.
That's what we look at holistically.
Right.
Those are the things that we do, and then we, over the years, we have implemented a lot of programs. Hope for E-Healing initiative is one of the things that we have done and we continue to do.
Okay.
Because we think that for a person who has gone through domestic violence or
Yeah.
sexual abuse
Yeah.
or neglect of all of that, there's this thing that you must be determined to heal. So we don't just say because you have come to us to talk to us about situations that you are going through in your home, we leave you. After we talk with you, we leave you just like that.
Right.
We follow up with you
Right.
to ensure that you have healed of the process.
Right.
So it's not just I come today, the 8th of April, to come and make a report, and then because I think that I have finished with you on this day,
Yeah.
I would not bother to follow
Check
up.
on you again.
No, we must follow up.
Right.
You know, Sothawaca, we have a trained social worker
Nice.
who is the head of the counseling session. She handles all the case management works that we do, and
That's beautiful.
because I studied criminal justice and I did a lot of criminal psychology. We work hand in hand. People will say, "Are you the boss?" I said, "No, we work hand in hand.
Right.
We're colleagues on the work," and then we look at it and then we continue with it, because as a psychologist, we know that if somebody doesn't just talk to you and you walk away.
Right. No.
You must continue
Yeah.
to ensure that that person has healed of the crime. So we have an open door policy
For sure.
where our clients can come back. You can keep coming back. We're never
Right.
tired of listening to you.
Yeah.
We can keep coming back. You need a shoulder to cry on.
Right.
We offer you a shoulder to cry on. You understand? But
Yeah.
we have come to finding out that many people are beginning to take undue advantage of all of this. A flight passes by them, it has to do with the person who is molesting them, and all of that. Adolescent sexual reproductive health and rights. We have taken it to the schools, but because of the bottlenecks
Right.
that we have been facing
Right.
in getting into schools,
Yeah.
we have not been able to fully establish that which we say we want to do, because our aim really and truly is to enter schools to start to educate children on their
Right.
reproductive health.
For sure.
Well, when you go there and say that's what you want to talk about, they will tell you that they already have it in their curriculum. So we leave them at that. But when they're on holidays, we do projects that train these children to be peer educators, and then to engage families through communication forums where we can talk about promotion of HIV and AIDS prevention and gender equality.
That's beautiful.
When we go into schools, because we can also go into schools, we make sure that we establish clubs.
Yes.
You know, the Children's Empowerment Network Club.
Right.
Yes, and the initiative was to address gender imbalances
Okay.
by empowering our young girls. We always talk about the young girls,
Yeah.
because they are targeted beneficiaries, and
Yes.
protecting them with issues like rape.
Yeah.
We start talking to them early about rape,
Mm-hmm.
HIV,
Mm-hmm.
and early marriages. When we go to schools, what we come out hearing, people have actually been able to come to us to confide in us
Yeah.
on things that they thought were the norms. So it is after we talk with them
That they
that they now know that,
realize, oh, I'm being traumatized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then we do what we call during the HIV awareness day. We do our door-to-door HIV and AIDS sensitization campaigns.
That's nice.
Yeah, we do that.
Is it throughout the schools or throughout maybe like the area?
Communities,
Okay.
the area where we work.
That's nice.
We conduct personalized outreach programs in communities. We educate the residents
Right.
on HIV prevention, fostering of community engagement, and reducing stigma. Yeah,
That's
because
good.
we have seen people who already are positive,
Okay.
but they are stigmatized. So,
Right. Yeah.
Yes, but we always say to them that there's life after HIV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then our community, I'm just going to run through what we do.
Okay.
Our community empowerment program. We have, because we have that empowerment program in different communities where we go to.
Yeah.
And these programs focus basically and mainly on vocational training,
Okay.
leadership development, and mobile health clinics. Yes, we do a lot of that, where we instill confidence and independence amongst the vulnerable people, both male and female.
That's good.
Yes, we do all of that.
Yeah.
Then GBV, gender-based violence advocacy. That's our strength.
Yes.
That's our strength, and we work towards combating and supporting. I won't call them victims. I call them my survivors.
Survivors, for sure.
Yes.
Do you feel like it's easier to get through the concept of survival through to your female candidates or to your male candidates?
It's 70-30.
Okay. Yeah.
It's 70-30. Because the males, like I said to you, do not really come out.
The patriarchy.
And when they come out, they don't come back.
Right. Shame.
They don't come back. Yeah, they don't come back. So it's for us to continue. It's a continuous process. We continue to educate.
Right.
Continue to educate. Continue to talk. We will walk the talk.
Yeah.
We will speak out.
Yeah.
We will speak for them.
Yeah.
Then we do skill acquisition trainings.
Okay.
And economic opportunities.
Okay.
But for the economic opportunities, we do not give cash.
Right.
We train you in the skill, and we give you startup kits.
Okay.
We've done that.
What would a startup kit for?
Okay, let's take for example, Tobiloba. You say to me, I want to learn how to use the computer and be a master at my game.
Okay.
And I give you a laptop. Many of these survivors expect that you should give them the cash.
Right.
Because actually, why they come to you, they haven't come to you because they want you to give them a laptop.
Tools, yeah.
Well, you see, for us, we'd rather teach you how to fish than give you fish to
fish,
eat.
for sure.
So we'll give it to them, and then when we go back to see how far they've gone, we find out they've sold their equipment.
Wow. Okay. And
they will actually tell you to your face that, you know what, we didn't come here because we wanted to actually... Encouragement. Yes.
Yeah.
They wanted the cash. So it's not been a too successful thing for us. But
do you feel like that is a societal situation, or do you think it's an individual situation?
Okay, let me look at one program that we did 2 years ago, where we had to empower. We did a program for 250 women and girls in a rural community.
Okay.
And we empowered them in bead making, adire making, soap making, baking, wig making.
Okay.
And one other thing, I can't remember what it was now. And we broke them into groups. You tell us what you want to learn, and we fix it into those groups. And at the end of it all, we had to pick 30 people to empower from the group. That is, I think it was six skills we had to teach them.
Okay.
So we took 5 people from each group. And we now say, okay, we are going to empower you with startup kits. Okay. And we gave the startup kits. And then when we went back there as a follow-up to monitor what they're doing and how far and how we can come back to further empower them,
right,
we found out that half of them has sold their kids.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Half of them. Some even just came from communities that were not even near the place. And when we called, they said, oh, we have moved somewhere else. Okay, give us the address where you are. They start telling you stories. So, which obviously, that's already a red flag.
Yeah.
That person has sold their kid, just came and got. One woman actually was bold enough to say to us, I did not come here for you to teach me how to bake and all of that. Well, I was one of those beneficiaries who was lucky enough to have gotten a startup kit. So we now said, that's very good. So what did you do with your startup kit?
Yeah.
How much have you made and all of that? Oh, she said right there and then she sold her kit because she was looking for immediate cash. So we have decided that unless we can actually get them to pledging that they will keep up with what they have we have trained them for, we will not do any more kits for anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we have done, and success stories. Yes. Success stories. There are a lot.
Okay.
But one impact that I would share with you is the transformation of a community outreach that we have done on gender-based violence awareness and sensitization.
Okay.
Like I said, it's our strength. We always open ourselves for intervention, and in every community where we are, we have found out that many of the people there had limited understanding, of what gender-based violence truly is. And those who knew, or who thought they knew, did not know what the repercussions were. So we ensure that we try to go back.
Right.
Sothawaca covers parts of Akoko-Edo.
Okay.
We've done projects in parts of Akoko-Edo.
Yeah.
We've gone to Isako.
Okay.
We've had sensitization programs talking about gender-based violence in Isako, Auchi to be precise.
Okay.
We've done a lot of work in the two Onwa East and Onwa West. So And every time we go there, it's like we haven't even come back. We haven't even said anything to anybody because because it's always new. What's gender-based violence? What's gender-based violence? Even if you're looking at the same faces, they will tell you that they really do not know what it's all about. So we believe that this series of sensitization, will help us forge ahead in fighting or combating gender-based violence cases. We continue to have media interactions where we talk about these issues. We're lucky enough to have coverage with the print media, with the electronic media, TV and radio.
That's good.
And then we're very visible on all the social media.
Okay.
We work well on all the social media. One of our key, we have one major success story. I always talk about this young lady. It's a pseudonym. It's not her real name.
Yeah.
Her name, we have decided to call her Ada here.
Okay.
She was suffering from gross domestic violence for many years, and then she found courage to come out. She found courage to come out. She reached out to us, and we followed her through. Since it wasn't a new case,
right? There
were no visible scars,
right?
But because she was being traumatized in the home, she found courage to come out to speak to us. And then, with the help of our trained case manager, she was not only able to receive emotional support, which we still give to her, but she was also able to get legal assistance to secure the protection orders for herself and for her children, because every time her husband hit at her, that aggression he transferred to the children. So we're able to get her that protective thing. Don't hit this woman anymore. You understand? And we also have had programs where we have provided vocational support for people who have lost everything in their homes, because when their husbands drive them out of the home, they live with virtually nothing. So we've been able to help a few of these women start up small businesses to ensure that they have their own economic independence. Our efforts in getting women and girls to breaking free from the circle of abuse and gaining confidence and becoming active change agents in the society has not been a very easy task for us, because we find many of our women, when they start going through emotional abuse, they go to churches, and many of them go to these Pentecostal churches, where the first thing the pastor is telling you is that a woman should be submissive
to her husband,
a woman should not do this, a woman should not do that. They are not looking at the psychological well-being of the woman and the children. You are telling the woman, because of your children, remain there. Because of your children, and the man is beating you every day
in front of your children.
And what are you doing? You are giving them scriptural verses in the Bible, and you are putting a woman who has been denied of food. You are putting her that she should be fasting and praying, and you are letting the perpetrator walk scot-free. And you are saying that if he hits you again, let us know. And the woman has come out and is saying that, I do not want to remain in that abusive and toxic marriage anymore. I need to go. And you are saying, no. Please remain there. And we will ensure that we look into the matter with you. If he beats you again, Now, this is the thing he said. If you beat you again, because he's a church worker, we will strip him of his position in the church. And you don't say to the man, if you kill her, you are going to face the wrath of the law.
Right.
You don't say that. You just want the man, you shouldn't beat your woman, blah, 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 blah. And that's the end.
Mm-hmm.
Many have lost their lives.
For sure.
I have 2 classical cases where they have actually lost their lives.
Wow.
A father said to me, my daughter would not be a single mother. I do not like the fact that you have encouraged my daughter to go back, not to go back home.
Wow.
Not to go back to her children.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, your daughter should stay away from the erring environment.
Yeah.
Because a man who is saying to you that at the end of the day, I'm going to kill you.
Wow.
Would make sure he does
He
it.
kills you. Yeah. That's a promise.
Exactly 1 year after, the woman was gone.
Wow. By the hands of the abuser.
By the hands of the abuser.
Wow.
And the man is at large. And you come to me and you are saying to me, what do we do next? I said, this is a murder case.
Yeah.
He's gone. If you can find him, let them charge him for murder. But it is not. You now say that you come to report.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, when we were supposed to step into the matter, you said your daughter would not be a single mother.
Right.
She has to go back to her husband. She has to be there for her children.
Right.
Her children, she can't leave her children alone.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's dead.
And the children are alone.
She has left her children alone.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I try my best when I see very, very difficult situations.
Yeah.
I try my best to give my own candid opinions as to how I look at the matter.
Mm-hmm.
And many a times I say to the women, walk out of the relationship.
Yeah.
Just walk out.
Yeah.
Or I say to the men, move.
Yeah.
Leave this woman alone. If she cannot, because we have also seen cases where women are hitting at their husband and giving them grievous bodily injuries. And they come and they show. And we say, okay, get her arrested. Oh, she's the mother of, they now turn around, oh, she's the mother of my children.
Oh, goodness.
You understand?
Yeah.
So what do you do? Okay, she's the mother of your children. You don't want to press charges. Okay, no problems. But I will never tell you to go and settle it the family way.
Right.
I tell you to go to work. At least we work hand in hand with Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Women Affairs, and line ministries and agencies. So when I see such cases and I know that my opinion would not count, I just send them out of my, I push it out of my table and I do my referral and I move on to the next case to see how far we can go with them. We have had a lot of success stories.
That's good.
We have had a lot of success stories that we tend to measure through our advocacy, outreaches, and the intervention efforts that we make. And it's kind of a mixture of qualitative and quantitative indicators.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I mean by this? Simply put, the number of children that have been successfully rescued, because we do a lot of family tracing.
Okay.
Yeah. When they want us to do family tracing, we work with Child Protection Network and IOM and NAPTIP. We do family tracings. When a child has been successfully brought back from wherever, we try to do family tracings.
Right.
By and large, we find the families.
That's good.
And there's always that thing of handing over the child back
to the parents.
The parents.
Yeah.
So those are what we do that we are always so proud of.
Yeah.
We do it and we continue again and again.
That's an amazing thing.
Then For our community awareness and behavioral changes,
Okay.
How do we measure that? We look at the attitudes that the community now has towards gender-based violence, child abuse, and harmful traditional practices.
Yeah.
We measure them by the surveys that we do, the feedbacks that we get, and the increased participation in the community when we come for our awareness program.
Yeah.
Our policy influences, we engage with policymakers, and has it improved the legal protection? Yes.
Okay.
But has it improved the implementation processes?
No. Right.
It hasn't.
Right.
Yeah, because it's one thing for you to talk on policies, it's another thing for you to ensure that those policies are doable.
Yeah.
So, in that regards, I would say no. Our program outreach in Sothawaca is centered out, maybe because we say we heighten awareness.
Right.
You understand? That's part of our name. So everything that we do has to do with
the awareness
creation and participation. How we measure that? We look at the participation rates. Did it increase? Door-to-door campaigns, are they receptive? School programs, did the children really get a grasp of what we have come to tell them? The empowerment initiatives that we did, how did the people find it? Did they actually learn?
Right.
Those are the things that we use as a measurement and yardstick. Then our sustained empowerment. Every empowerment that we do, we ensure that it is sustainable.
Right.
Not just short-term sustainability, but long-term sustainability, to make sure that there's improvements in the lives of the beneficiaries, targeted beneficiaries. We try to track them, like I said to you earlier on. We try to track them and do follow-up, and then get our success stories in at least in maybe 4 or 5 of the programs that we have done. At least I can say in almost every program that we do, and we empower people, there will be at least 1 or 2 people who have come back to say thank you, we are doing well.
That's good.
And all of that. Our partnerships.
Okay.
Our partnerships were Sothawaca.
Right.
And Sothawaca is in the UN.
Okay.
My being in America today is because I actually came for the 69th CSW Committee on the Status of Women. It was a 10-day program.
Yeah. And
Sothawaca had a parallel event.
That's
where
beautiful.
we talked about the digital inclusion. To combat gender equality. Yeah. We had a side event of that, and we had youths come to talk to us about what they understand by digital inclusion and gender equality. Yeah. And we will not stop asking for partnership. We partner with everybody who is ready to, like-minded organizations who are ready to partner with us. To name but a few, we have the Liu. They are in Arizona. Okay. Yeah, and we have them. When we have the Stop It Now organization. Okay. Liu does human trafficking on women. Okay. Stop It Now does child sexual abuse. Those are the ones that are within the United States space. So when you do not limit yourself to just the locals.
Yeah.
I will not call them locals because we still do need them. When you remit yourself, you have to look at being an ECOSOC person. You have the international. You have your international partners. You have your regional partners. For the regional partners, we have the African Network for Child Protection. We have the African partners there and all of that. So we have the regional. We have the regional. We have the state, and then we have the national, and then we have the state. We all work hand in hand to ensure that what we are doing, is not just hanging in the air.
Right.
We all need to work hand in hand to make sure that our goals are achieved.
Yes.
So those are basically what we do in the space, in the NGO space, as it relates to women, children, youths, the elderly, and the community at large.
Okay. Well, that has covered the history, the background, the impact, which is beautiful, and I can only foresee bigger and greater things and more vast opportunities for everyone on the committee. So I do appreciate your time, and thank you for speaking with me and informing everyone listening.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.